And joining me live now is New South Wales Acting Premier Penny Sharpe. It is great to see you, Minister. Thanks so much for coming on. Sounds like it was just sheer luck that the Newtown synagogue in the city's inner west was not burnt down, exactly like what we saw in Melbourne.
Yes, I think unfortunately that's right, Kenny. It's a terrible display, and in some ways we're lucky that it wasn't worse than it already was.
The threat of counter-terrorism police now involved, do you think that will be enough to deter people in the future?
Look, we have to do everything to stop this from occurring. New South Wales should be a safe place for every person, and any attack on any group is completely unacceptable. The rise of antisemitism that we've seen is something that everyone should be concerned about, not just the Jewish community. So obviously we're pleased and are watching closely the work that the counter-terrorism and police are doing in relation to all of the investigations. We're examining laws, and when Parliament returns in February, we'll be putting in place protections for people to be able to go and go to their faith, into their church or to their temple or to their synagogue without fear of harassment or threatening behaviour. But look, this is a very serious matter. It's hateful, it's illegal. And for the community that we live in, we have to send a very strong message that it won't go unanswered.
The Premier, Chris Minns, says there is a clear photo of one of the alleged perpetrators, yet no one is coming forward with information. Should the New South Wales Government offer a reward for information that leads to an arrest?
Look, we're looking at all of the options, but it's very simple here. Everyone who's come to live in New South Wales comes here because it's safe and peaceful, and you can practice your faith in the way that you choose to do so. Any attack on anyone is unacceptable, and we really call on the community to take community responsibility for the safety of everyone. This is really important. We really urge anyone who knows any information about this to let Crime Stoppers or police know, and really just to say to people, this is not what happens in New South Wales. This is not the community that we know. It's not the community that we love, and we will all work collectively to keep everyone safe.
Federal Liberal MP Julian Leeser is calling for an urgent National Cabinet this week to discuss mandatory prison sentences for attacks targeting Jewish synagogues. Is this something that you would support?
Look, I think if the federal government called a National Cabinet, of course we'd participate in that. We've already taken a lot of actions and continue to do so. We're working closely with both Jewish leaders and other church leaders and faith leaders across the state on making sure that people can practice their faith safely and free of harassment. So, look, we're open to all ideas, but we're pursuing our own actions as well.
Yeah, but do you think mandatory prison sentences for people who target Jewish synagogues, do you think that that is a good idea and the direction we should head?
Well, I think a discussion about how we can stop the rise of anti-Semitism is extremely important, and I also think we should look at the penalties we've got. We've already increased those. We're working through all of those matters, but always open to a conversation at a national level on these issues. OK, just on another topic, a chorus of healthcare professionals warn New South Wales's most vulnerable patients are at serious risk of harm after 200 psychiatrists in the public hospital system resigned amid a bitter pay dispute, according to the Daily Telegraph. But the responsible minister, Rose Jackson, is on holidays in Japan at the moment. That's bad timing, don't you think? Look, the issue here is that some of the most vulnerable people in our community need access to public psychiatry through our hospital system. We're really asking the psychiatrists to stay at the table and to work through these issues. The government can't turn around their pay issues that have been in place for over 12 years overnight, but we want to work really, really closely with them. Rose is being updated. We are working very closely with New South Wales Health on all of those issues, but the message today really is asking the psychiatrists to stay at the table, to work through the issues to improve the system and to make sure that the most vulnerable people in New South Wales are able to get the health care that they need, and we're able to support the families who are trying to care for them. 200
psychiatrists out of 260. What impact do you think that would have on the public health system?
Look, the impact could be very serious. The resignations at this point are not due to take place until next week, so there's plenty of time to keep talking through these matters. We are putting in place extensive contingency plans in case that eventuates, but the message here is really clear. We really value the work that these public psychiatrists do. They care for people who are really at the pointy end of the mental health spectrum, often in psychosis, in a really terrible state. We value their work. We want to work through their pay issues. We've offered them 15% pay rise, which is more than they've had in a decade. We know that there are issues in terms of work and workload that we're also wanting to work through, but walking away at this stage doesn't help. We want them to stay at the table and to keep talking.
Okay. Acting Premier Penny Sharpe, really appreciate your time this morning. Thanks so much. Hopefully chat to you again soon.